recording. This one's recording.
Oh. Okay. And then turn this off?
Yeah.
Cool.
Alright. And now to record that one.
Cool. Hello, hello. Testing, testing.
Alright, cool.
Hi.
Hi, Genesis. How you doing?
Hi, James. I'm doing great.
Awesome.
Live from my room.
Welcome to Genesis' Room, the mobile podcast episode.
Seriously.
Alright, so quick introduction. Welcome everybody to the UltimateBS podcast, the podcast about the Ultimate Bringer show and every competitor that competes on it. So this month we have Genesis, who will be competing on Friday, July 26th. How do you feel, Genesis?
Gosh, I am feeling so unprepared.
That seems to be the natural inclination for most of the comics.
Fantastic. Oh, great, yeah. great. Then,
have you ever done anything like this before?
No, I think I got invited to do a comedy contest once, but I'm still so new, but I was even newer, and I was just like, no, thank you. So yeah, this is the first kind of like contest.
Well, I'm glad I convinced you to try it.
I know, seriously, you're just so dang convincing.
How long have you been doing stand-up?
Well, my first official show was November of last year.
Oh, nice.
So
okay.
I'm a baby.
No, but still, that's like more than some other competitors have gone up.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, so then I'm a seasoned veteran.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, then, I've got this.
Yeah. I mean, it all depends on, how much work you've been putting in, and when it comes to how often do you go out to do stand-up. I mean, you literally live, down the street from the Oaks Tavern, right?
I know. No, literally, Oaks Tavern is that way, and it is a 2-minute walk.
Yeah, that's so lucky.
Hilariously enough, I've never done an open mic at Oaks.
Why not?
I don't know. I'm always, busy, or, you know what? It's usually because I'm at another different open mic, but I'm not sure really why. I really should go.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. You got off of work today at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
I think that one starts at 7.
Exactly.
Or something.
But that's tonight was an anomaly. Usually I can make it to a lot of different mics. Cause I'm down the street. I'm not too far from the Cork and Corky's and.
Cork's Lounge. I like that place.
Yeah, so I go to that one. I try to go to that one. I try to go to the Pretty Funny Women studio on Melrose. I try to go to, a lot. I try to go to a lot, like Bert's and Bert's Back Room and.
How do you feel about Bert's Back Room? I've never done it.
I like it. Especially if you go to a later time slot, even though it's in Hollywood or whatever. Usually you can find good parking and it's free. And you just go in. It's a great little space. You just gotta find it. It's upstairs and you just go. It's nice. All of those slotted ones, all of those slotted open mics are amazing because it's you just sign up, you're there for an hour, you have a guaranteed audience, everyone's there just to work things out.
Are there more than one different?
Yeah, Fourth Wall is like that, Bert's is like that, Pretty Funny Women's Studio is like that. You just slotted for the
Fourth Wall, yeah. I actually got that idea from the Fourth Wall.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
nice.
I thought it was amazing. I was like, oh,
it's so great, right? Yeah. So then you don't Can I curse?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, fuck lotteries.
This is a live show where comics. I don't get it. I was like, do what you want.
I don't know.
This isn't water.
Just filled it all up with vodka, ladies and gentlemen. That is what we do here. I have my own bar.
It's
I know. I feel like I should roll it in, but I have this tiny little bar just full of booze. Because I just want to be Don Draper, okay? I just want to be Don Draper, except with wine and not
with wine and some
whiskey.
Midori. Is that Midori?
No, what is that? No.
The little green one?
The little green one is, my friend brought it from Italy. It's limoncello.
Ooh, okay.
I'm a fancy bitch.
Yeah, you can drink that after dinner, right? Just wash the food down.
Oh, yeah. And then Deep Eddy grapefruit vodka, because... Yeah.
Are you originally from California?
No, I'm from Texas.
Texas?
Yeah,
Oh, no
I'm
way.
from Dallas.
How long have you been here? Since November?
No. My family and I moved to Orange County about 10 years ago, coming up in August.
Oh, okay.
I know.
How'd you feel about the earthquakes? That's your first time experiencing.
I mean, I know. I've dealt with earthquakes by now. 10 years. But I mean, I came from tornadoes, so I dealt with tornadoes.
Earthquakes
I can deal with earthquakes. All I need now is a hurricane, and I'm 3 for 3.
Yeah, and a blizzard, and then what?
And then a blizzard, and then just bring them on. Yeah. I need a fire. California's got most of them.
Yeah,
so
we saw the fires last year.
Oh yeah, no, I'm good.
expecting some this year. I feel like I'm watching sports.
I'm waiting for it. Who do you think is gonna win?
Probably nature.
Every time.
Yeah.
She wins every time. Yeah, so here. I've been living in Orange County for most of it, but I would commute to LA every freaking day, pretty much. Yeah. And I just moved to Sherman Oaks in March.
Oh, okay.
I've only been here since March.
And how's it been? Just amazing, living the La La Land.
Oh, hell yeah. It was 10 years of just commuting and everyone being like, you're from Orange County, what are you doing here? And just being stuck down there, and now I'm here and it's like,
a whole new world.
Stay home. I must just stay home.
Saving money on gas.
And
spending it on rent.
I know, seriously. I'm like, this sucks. Maybe you should go back.
Did you ever do any open mic in Orange County? What's the scene like down there?
No, I haven't.
No?
Which is, okay, it's interesting because I have a friend who is a stand-up comedian in San Diego Oceanside area, so that's his scene.
Uh-huh.
But he sometimes drives up to Orange County to hang out with me and our friends or whatever, and also to do Anchor Bar, and that one's a really popular one in Orange County. And then there's one or two others I'm blanking on the name, but Anchor Bar is like a real popular. Like all the OC comics go there, some LA comics go down there, San Diego comics go there, and that's like the big one. And that's like Monday nights, but I have acting class, so I've never gone.
No.
Yeah, so.
Oh, I haven't heard of the Anchor Bar, but still, I'm still kind of new to the LA scene, because I don't get a lot of free time, so whatever free time I get, I just get pouring it into my show.
No, it's good. I know. This is like, I'm so excited for the show. What made you come up with the idea to do the show?
Well, two reasons. One very selfish reason is that I wanted to have more quality stage time. So, I've been going to open mics is awesome, but nobody laughs. Everybody's there waiting.
Sucks.
Yeah. And I figured that I'm not gonna wait around for flappers to contact me. I'm not gonna go to the what's it called, the LA Comedy Store.
Yeah.
To sign up from Monday morning.
Oh my God, no, I don't know about I've never done the Comedy Store open mic. I've performed at the Comedy Store, but I haven't done the open mic, and I don't know about that one, but I hear horror stories from the Laugh Factory open mic. You have to fucking get there at noon, and then maybe you get
a chance.
Because they just take the first 10, and then the rest is lottery, and it's only 2 minutes. You get 2 minutes, and people are waiting there since noon.
Yeah. I'm
like, that's not fucking worth it. If you really want to play at the Laugh Factory, there's got to be some other fucking way. But kudos. And it almost I had I actually worked on an open mic pilot and recently, and I filmed it with a couple of other comedians, and part of it was just kind of talking about the open mic LA scene, which was really cool. And somewhere in the episode they went and explored that mic, the Laugh Factory mic, and it kind of becomes its own mic. The line becomes its own mic outside. So people are just kind of doing their show, doing their set.
People walking by?
Just kind of, into other comedians in line. It's kind of amazing.
Yeah, this is a fun time.
Yeah. So it's okay, you're there at noon and you get in at 6. But,
Yeah.
You make
it depends. Maybe one of these days when I feel like I'm confident enough to be not waste everybody else's time by going up. I'll probably hit those places up. But right now, it's just like, you know, I need more quality stage time. I need an actual audience. And so I decided to create the show. And I figured that it would, you know, if you everybody puts $20 in and the funniest one wins, like, you know, then that gives a chance for comics to win money as well.
Yeah.
And slowly it's become what it is right now, and it's
amazing.
Yeah, I'm trying to expand.
Yeah, and it's a bringer show, so people
which
will
all
come.
of them are. All of them are. They all of them are.
You're just putting it on the, you know,
on the name.
That's it.
That's a lot. I get a lot of comments on the name.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love the fucking name. Like, it's great. It's just like, hey guys, bring people. Mm-hmm. You gotta bring people.
Yeah, always. If you want an audience, bring some people.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
And I like that's why the whole voting thing happened, is because I thought that what more of a motivation is to get more votes, you bring more people. And at the end of the day, everybody wins because you have an audience to perform for.
Then it's just a popularity contest. Then it's just like how many friends and how many friends who like you and are gonna vote for you.
Yeah.
Because wouldn't that fucking suck that you invite someone, they're like, actually, I have to be, I have a lot of integrity and I can't just vote for my friend.
Right.
Like, I have to vote for the best person. It's like, fuck you, Simon Cowell. I'm hoping that doesn't happen.
It's happened before where if somebody won, they'll be like, oh, he's because he brought 10 people, right?
Yeah.
But, the format of my show is that the audience can vote for multiple comics. So not only they vote for your friend, but they can also vote for the next person that's funny. And so that just kind of eliminates that excuse. Only the funniest will win. Only the funniest will win.
Damn it! And I was pretty I feel like I'm pretty popular, and I thought that's how I was gonna win. Now I gotta try. Damn it!
You do have to make people laugh.
Oh man, I was just gonna stand there.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
That would've been funny.
Yeah.
It would've been funny if you just stood there and still won.
Yeah. And just stand here. I just do a shrug bit for 5 minutes. Or however many minutes. I should really
8 minutes. It's an
8
minute
set.
8
minutes. Why do I...
Have you ever done an 8-minute set before?
I have.
Oh,
I've done
good.
10 minutes. And that's, I can do 10 minutes. I've done 10, I've done 8, I've done 7, 5, 3.
That's good. So for somebody who's starting in November, usually they don't confidently say oh, I can do 8. I mean, I know that for sure fact.
I'm I don't know if it's amazing, but I've got 10.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so fun.
I forget my stuff.
No, right? No, every time I get booked for these 10-minute shows, and I'm just like, oh shit, what are all my jokes?
Yeah.
I have to go through the catalog, and I'm not organized, so it's all on my phone and in 3 different journals, and I'm like, what do I have?
All right, tell me about your writing process then. How do you write? Are you a situational person? Do you tell stories? What have you found works for you?
I tell stories, but I'm trying to get away from that just because I feel like weird shit happens to me. So I have a bunch of crazy stories, but I still feel like I haven't nailed translating a funny story to a proper joke, with punchlines. Mm-hmm. So that's how I usually just start off writing, is just I just freehand and I just tell the story. Yeah. And then from there I just edit it from, whatever happens, and then just cut it down. And, I'm a bit observational, but it's mostly very I just keep it very based off me. Mm-hmm. I guess right now the set I have is very half and half. It's talking about me and my family, and then
well, don't go away all your secrets.
Oh yeah. I mean, you know what? Let me just get into my bit right now.
Yeah.
No, but that's kind of it. It's just kind of mostly focused on me, some observational stuff. Mm-hmm. And mostly I try to be good about writing every day, but I'm terrible at it. So the goal is to write every day and just freehand stuff. Yeah. The reality is that I'm just walking around or driving around, and I just
something
comes
funny
and I write it on my phone.
Write it down.
And
that's the way I tend to do it too.
Right.
I have a whole hour.
It's in there.
It's in there
somewhere.
I just gotta sculpt it out of the way where the rockets come in.
I know. I'm my notes app is ridiculous. So yeah, I get it. So that's kind of how do I do it? Yeah.
What brought you into doing stand-up comedy? Like, did you grow up with somebody? Like, so who inspired you, basically?
So I was at a seance. Not even joking.
Okay, refresh my memory. A seance is where they try to bring people back from the
Yes, and then it was a seance, and then it became just like a fun little hippy-dippy tarot card reading.
Okay.
It was so LA. This was last year in August. My friend invited me. She was like, "Do you want to come to a seance?" I'm like, "Sure." And she's like, "It's witch themed." I'm like, "I already got the outfit." I'm like, why would it be any other theme? Like, it's not like a Hello Kitty seance. Like, it's a Hello Kitty seance. Like, just dress up. Like, no. And so we go, and mind you, to give you context, earlier in the year, I wrote down a list, and I made a couple resolutions. And I said, each month I have to do one thing that scares me. Mm-hmm. And by the end of this year, I'm gonna try stand up. Because everyone always said, "Oh, you're so funny, but I'm like, okay, I'm a funny person, great, but like that doesn't mean I can just stand up and tell jokes. Those are two very different things. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I don't know, and how am I gonna do it? So I was just like, the only way I could do it is like if I found a class or something. Like I know you learn best from open mics, but I'm like, I need someone to push me, and I need structure. And okay. So I thought of this in January. So come August, my friend invites me to the seance or whatever, and then I meet a bunch of her friends and friends of friends, and I meet this lovely woman named Joy Goring, and she's hilarious. But I was just talking to her, and she was like, "You're funny. Like, you're really funny. Have you thought about doing stand-up?" And like I'd heard that a couple times, but I was just like, I'd like to, I'm going to, I just don't know what to do. And she's like, look, like, she's a stand-up comedian. She's like, look, I started off taking classes with Lisa Sunstead and Pretty Funny Women. And I'm like, I don't know what the hell that is. And she's like, it's literally a stand-up class for women. Oh. I'm like, oh shit, what? I'm a woman, cool. And then I'm like, she was like, you gotta do it. I'm like a comedy whisperer, and I know you're funny, and I know you'd be a good stand-up. I'm like, okay, well, I'm already at a seance, so I'm gonna believe whatever's gonna happen here.
Are you channeling my grandma
right now? I know. I'm like, the spirits are telling me I'm funny. So, so then she gave me the info, we exchanged emails and Instagrams or whatever, and then I messaged Lisa the next day, and I was like, hey, I know Joy, she's a former student of yours or whatever, what kind of classes do you have? And she had like one spot left for her beginner class.
Oh, cool.
And she was like, yeah, you want to do it? And I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah. And then I did, and then at the end of it, so it was the beginner class, and like she teaches you joke structure and different types of jokes, and she was like, you have to go to open mics. And so I went with like my friend and another student in the class, and through that class I learned a lot, and we like brainstormed, and we were writing together, all these like lovely amazing ladies.
Nice. How many people in the class?
In this one it was like maybe like 10 girls.
That's a big class.
Big class, right? And everyone was freaking hilarious and everything. And so we were all building up to, she has a graduation show at Flappers.
Okay.
And for her intermediate and advanced class, she has graduation shows at the Laugh Factory. And so we just worked, and we were all gonna have a 5-minute set by the end of it. And that's what happened. And I worked on it and did a bunch of stuff and did a bunch of open mics. At one point I was going to like 4 or 5 open mics a night.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah. My record is 3 or 4 in a day.
Okay.
Is my record. And then we just did it in the main room at Flappers, just like, that was my first show in November, and it went amazing, and then
you fell in love with it, and that's where you're at.
I don't even know if I'm in love with it. I'm kind of in an abusive relationship with stand-up comedy. That
sounds about right.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's more like,
when it's good, it's good, but when it's bad,
right? And it's just like, I don't know, you make me feel good, but I don't even know if I like you. Like, it's like that sort of thing. But I'm doing it, and it's been going well. I mean, I've gotten to perform at Flappers and Comedy Store and a bunch of other places, and have shows coming up. I'm actually playing Flappers this Sunday, and I've got a show Saturday, and so there's like cool
my
stuff.
show on Friday.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, oh man.
What would you say is your passion then? If stand-up comedy is like just it's on the side, like love-hate relationship, what is your driving dream, if you want to say?
Singing and acting,
for
sure. That's like what I'm good at. Like I know I'm good at, and what I love so much. I mean, I've been singing since I've been performing since I was like 2, and then I had an agent since I was 5, and so I've just been doing this my whole life. But the stand-up thing it's kind of weird because it's like the first thing I've done in a while where I'm like,
uncharted territory.
Yeah, because everything, like, all of the acting and singing and stuff, like, all those baby steps I took as a literal baby. Like, like, I was a child, so if I messed up, people would, like, it would be okay, and I was cute and precocious, and, like, it was fine. But now I'm, like, I'm doing something completely new, and completely scary. And I'm an adult now. Yeah. And it's a weird feeling. I think that's why I have such a weird relationship with stand-up, because it's like, I love it, but because I'm struggling with it, and so much of stand-up is you struggle forever, and then you do good. Like...
Hopefully.
Hopefully. It's kind of like, I'm getting used to the dynamic, you know?
Yeah.
Because, a lot of it, like, even like when I moved to LA and I was moved from the Texas acting scene to the LA acting scene, I was 16, like, all those baby steps happened when I was young, and versus, now I'm just like, oh shit, like, I suck, and I'm 25.
You're so
old.
I'm
so old. I know.
How many kids do you got?
Oh God, so many. I have them duct taped in the corner.
Do you even have a cat or a dog?
Hell no.
No?
I am thinking about getting a hedgehog. I have a dog.
Oh.
I have a dog. Her name is Whipped Cream, and she's precious. She's such a diva. Hi Whipped Cream, if you're seeing this. And she's in Orange County with my family, so I visit her on the weekends, and I love her. And I used to have a hedgehog named Harley Quills.
But cute name.
I know, but she passed on.
So how long do they live for? A long time?
Well, they're like rodents from that rodent family, so like tops, like more like 4 or 5. So she died when she was 3, so I'm like, okay. But yeah, and so I've thought about getting a new one, but they're technically illegal in California.
That's why I've probably never seen them.
So yeah, so I have to go to Vegas to get one, and if I want another one, so that's why I don't have anything, and that's why my room is so clean right now, because I don't have any responsibilities except my own.
This room is cleaner than my whole house.
I worked really hard.
I can eat off the floor here.
Don't. I did not clean the floors. I'm like, it's fine. He's not going to notice the floors. It's fine.
Don't you know this is part of the podcast? We need sushi on the floor.
God, I didn't know. This is do your homework beforehand.
Do God.
What? I just don't do my research.
Man, I'm getting shiny on this thing.
I'm a makeup artist. I've literally got powder. Do you want me to powder you?
I don't know.
Off?
You do makeup.
Yeah, I'm a makeup artist.
How's that been going?
Good. I love it. I love makeup. It's not my career passion, but I love it, and it's what I do. I like making people feel pretty and feel nice. That's kind of why I don't want to cross promote or anything, but I also have a podcast.
What is the name of your podcast?
You're really pretty. The podcast.
All right. Well, be sure to follow Genesis at your.
Yeah, it's I'm changing the Instagram handle because I first did your really pretty podcast. I'm like, no one's typing that shit up. Really pretty podcast on Instagram. Yes, RELY ALLYPRETTY podcast. I know how to spell. And I'm just working on it now, but like it's something like I just like talking about beauty standards and what does beauty mean to people, and you know, I'm interviewing straight guys, gay guys, straight girls, you know, queer girls, like all kinds of people of like different ethnicities, and just kind of like talking about what it does. And it's also like I want it to be positive.
Of course.
So like we have segment like positive but also very bitchy, because we have segments where we like talk about like one thing that you find attractive and like about yourself, and I ask all my guests. And then we also have a segment called #FuckThatGuy. So, you know, not just guys. I mean, that applies to everyone.
I get it. Like, you know, some guy cutting you off in the middle of the street.
Exactly.
Like, fuck that guy.
Exactly. So it's a little bit of everything. So, yeah. So, long story short, to answer your question, I love being a makeup artist. I work part-time at Sephora as well as doing freelance. And I get a lot of different people, and you know, a lot of different women and men who are just like, I have no idea, but like, the heartbreaking part is that you get a lot of people who are just like, yeah, no, and I have like the worst skin, and like, it's flawless, and you're just like, what are you seeing that I'm not seeing, you know?
Yeah.
And but, you know, end of the day, after a makeover and just being able to like, cover up that skin, or be able to, you know, do someone's eyes and, you know, make them feel pretty. Like, it's cheesy, but it's genuinely, like, I do love that feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I wonder if that will bleed into your comedy somehow. I'm like I'm really looking forward to watching.
I'm a bitch.
No, I don't talk about caring for people.
No. I love helping people,
That's
but
the
I
good side
want
of
them
it.
to all die.
Oh, trust me, I get it.
Right. You know, it's like humanity, but also like the plague should happen.
Yeah, like I work at Trader Joe's. So like everybody loves Trader Joe's.
I applied at Trader Joe's and they rejected me.
Oh, how many times did you apply?
Like one time.
One time,
just
yeah.
like to do it.
It took me 6 months.
I'm still chasing after that dream.
Yeah, the only way you can get in there is when somebody dies, and that's so apply again. I'm sure somebody.
Fantastic. Well, let me know who I need to murder. So.
Yeah, there's some pretty. We got some people up in line for that. Oh, that's so morbid. Hope nobody listens. I'm not talking about any of you guys.
He's talking about you. You know who you are.
My friend needs a job. Just come on, retire already.
No, yeah, it was like when I was like looking for a side gig, and then I stumbled into Sephora. So it was right before Sephora, and I was like, I don't know, Trader Joe's seems like fun or whatever, and apparently it's not.
No, I mean it's fun, but like people are always being people, you know.
Yeah.
Like I get paid to smile, and my face hurts every day.
Oh my god, my favorite is when I get to go into a back room and just not smile for 10 minutes.
Do you like feel your like whole skin start to crack?
Completely. And then I just need to like go to the bathroom, and then I just like hide in a stall and like no one talk to me. Like I don't. I need to not be nice to anyone right now. Yeah.
Man, people are tough, man.
Right? Okay, what's your horror story? Like, tell me, like, a Trader Joe's horror story.
Well, man, I've experienced it all. There's one that I guess I like to tell people is that, like, on the hottest day of the summer, I had this, like, really big lady come up to my line, and then she, you know, it's like, oh, it's $25, you know. So she goes into her, you know, into her brassiere and pulls out a sweaty bill, and I'm like, okay. Then, all right, you know, what am I going to do? It's just, this money's money. Your money's good here. It's like, there you go.
Okay, I feel bad hearing this because I've been that person.
Sweaty bill?
I've been the one, because I don't carry my purse. I have so many purses, including a very cute hedgehog purse. I just don't like carrying it, okay? So sometimes, not all the time, I, like at the club or something.
Right.
You know, I call it P-Milk, which is like the worst acronym, but it's phone, money, ID, lips, keys. Okay. So lips could mean chapstick or whatever. And and then I just keep it all on me on either pockets or my jacket or my boobs. And sometimes money needs to be held in my boobs, and I feel bad.
Do you keep change in there too?
No.
Some coins.
Just rattle into the club.
How much do you need?
I've got change.
Bus fare.
So yeah, I've been that bitch, and I'm so sorry. And I try not to do it during the summer months, or if it's like really extra gross, like I'm just like I kind of air it out or something on the side.
Something.
I've been that bitch. I'm so sorry.
I want to hear this podcast. Hashtag fuck that.
I know. I'm like, wait, are people hashtag fuck that guy to me? Whoa.
Mind blown.
Wow.
But yeah, that's like one of the horror stories.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, like I've had people sticking gross things in my hand, like napkins, and it was like, all right, kids.
Well, I have to touch pimples all the time.
Okay.
And like, which is fine. Do they ever blow up on you? Wait, what?
Would they ever blow up on you?
Blow up?
Is that what
Are pimples just blowing up?
Are
pimples just blowing up on your face? You have amazing skin. I refuse to believe a pimple has blown up on you.
Oh man, you should look at the back knee. Just it's like braille back there.
What does this say?
It's saying we should move on from this embarrassing topic. Just so you know, this is the first time we've ever talked, by the way.
Yeah, well, okay, because we met at the Russian doll thing, right? Yeah, we met at Netflix by chance.
It happened to be the only two stand-up comics in the place.
I know, straight up.
Right.
Like, seriously, the rest were like TV guild people.
Speaking of it, we were waiting for the samples to come out of the kitchen because we were so
Oh, yeah, I remember. That food was amazing. Okay, I go to a lot of,
events?
Industry events and things, and Comic-Con is coming up, and I'm gonna be at all those parties or whatever, and no one eats the damn food, and now I'm that bitch just in the corner, is no one gonna eat this? This is amazing.
These are free, right?
Right? And they are, so I'm eating a bunch. And they're always open bar, and I'm just like, I'll have 3 drinks. Yeah. I'm a mess. And everyone's just like, how do you network? And I'm like, what?
Food.
What, we were networking? I was eating. It's free food.
Yeah.
And things. Okay.
They were delicious. Oh man, I wish I could remember what the name of everything was.
What was the one that we fucking loved? It was was it fried avocado or stuffed avocado or something?
Yeah, avocado fries.
Yes,
yeah.
Avocado fries.
Those
and
they
had that, cilantro dip or something?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I only got 2 of those and then
into it. Oh god, I was into those fries. Yeah. Yeah. And there's Natasha Leone or whatever, and Amy Poehler or somewhere, and my friends looking for them, and I'm just has anyone tried the avocado fries?
Yeah. There was a whole line. I was like, they're missing out.
I was like,
this is where the show
this is free, you guys. Yeah.
I don't need a picture of that lady.
No, I mean, hey, I want a picture of them. I will not be cool around celebrities, but food though. Mm-hmm. Food is forever. Food is life. Yeah. So, but yeah, I know this is great for first time hanging out. You know, you're cool, James. I think we should hang out.
I got the validation. That's it for the podcast.
I know, guys. Cut it. All right.
I got what I
wanted.
wanted.
We're done. I just record podcasts for the validation. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
True.
Just
let's see. Is there anything else I can probably think of to ask you? I don't know. I'm kind of blanking now.
I know.
You gave me a compliment. I'm like, I feel
gosh,
good now.
I know. Do you just not get those?
Ever. If you knew,
comedians so needy.
Why do you think I do
Tell
comedy?
me I'm pretty.
Yeah. Tell me I'm funny. That's all I need.
I know. I feel because I haven't really officially dropped the podcast yet, but I'm just recording a bunch and I'm slowly promoting it. Mm-hmm. And I'm just I'm waiting for someone to be like, I feel like this is just an excuse for you to suck your own dick and be like, I'm so pretty, and I'm like, oh shit, like, no, it's not about that. But yeah, if people want to tell me I'm pretty,
I am.
I'm like not against it, you know. Whether it's true or not, that's a different debate. But I would like to be told that. But yeah, it's, you know, with a name like that or like, you know, subject matter, I'm already like preemptively thinking about the trolls.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, don't.
Oh, like internet trolls.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah.
The show on Netflix. The cartoon?
Yes, those bastards. You don't even know. But no, yeah, the internet trolls. I'm always trying to think ahead of them. I don't know.
Who's your favorite comic right now? I'm assuming you watch stand-up comedy.
Right?
No.
No, I just like to wing it. I only enjoy my own comedy.
Such an artist.
Right.
Very Hollywood. You're good for a movie here.
Thank you. I don't think I've changed.
You know this is going online, right?
Cut it. Just cut it. We can cut this.
Go back 30 seconds.
Right now. My goal, honestly, in my comedy is I would love to be like Bert Kreischer.
Oh, nice. Take your shirt off on stage.
Oh. Fuck yeah. The machine. Just because the thing I love about him is that crazy shit happens to him. Mm-hmm. Crazy shit happens to me. We're both kind of yes people, and so things happen. But he has this amazing way of translating those crazy stories into funny jokes. Mm-hmm. And he tells a story just naturally funny. And that's something I want to do. And also, I want to live his life and, like, do all the crazy shit that he's done. And I, you know, the amount of situations I've gotten myself into just because it's like, oh, it'd be a funny story. Like, right. And I'm like, you could get killed. And I'm like, but if I don't, it's going to be hilarious. Yeah. Like, that sort of thing.
So you jumped off of a roof onto a pool?
No, not that dumb. But you know, like I'm like.
You're a go-getter.
You know, trouble finds me, and I say yes.
Yeah, so, I'll drive high.
Yeah, I do not drive high, Mom.
No, we don't do that here.
We don't do that here. But like this piercing, I literally got on 4th of July, just like randomly. And it's just like it's just like a little like
nail,
spike.
Right?
Mm-hmm. It's just like a spike. Yeah, and like that's not interesting. That's like whatever.
No, but like, still, it was on a whim, right? Just 4th of
July.
Was,
but the reason I got it was because my friend and I were hanging out, and we went to one of her parties, and like, you know, her friends' parties, and she and I met this gentleman, is maybe too generous of a word, but gentleman, and he and I and her started talking, and long story short, she convinced him to tattoo her name onto him.
Wow.
Yep. So she was just like, hey, if I like paid for the tattoo, would you get my name tattooed on you? And he's like, yeah. Yeah. And this is the 3rd person that she's done this to.
Oh.
So like, I had heard about the other 2, and I'm like, wait, I'm gonna be part of this. I'm here for this. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, I'll drive you guys. I'll drive you guys to the shop. I'll be there. I just want to go.
Let me include it in the story.
Yeah, exactly. Do it for the story. Literally, this guy comes in, like, gets into my car with a handle of Tito's vodka. We drive down to Hollywood, and he's like, yeah, I want it in Limp Bizkit font.
What's your friend's name? Is it like Cassidy?
No, it's Tess, and I think it's okay. Well, yeah, like I'm just gonna say it. Yeah, it's 4 letters. Okay. It's 4 letters. I jokingly was just like, "Do you want to get like my name tattooed on you?" And he's like, "What's your name?" Genesis. No. I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess because it's long, you dick.
I mean, I feel
I
like
think Genesis is a great name to get tatted on.
Abraham, yeah.
Right, exactly. Like you could always just like play it off as like, I really like the band,
or the book of,
the book of, or like Sega, or anything. You know. fine, whatever, not hurt. So, drive down to Hollywood to the tattoo shop where these other two guys got Tess's name tattooed on them. Mm-hmm. And she got a discount because the guy remembered her and was like, oh, you're doing this again?
Oh my God.
So she pays for it. And then I was like, well, fuck, we're here. And I've been meaning to get a piercing. Uh-huh. So he's getting Tess and I'm getting this random, like, spike in my ear. Uh-huh. And yeah.
Where did he get his tattoo?
He got it on the back of his leg, like right here.
Okay.
Right here. And it just says Tess. Like, I've got a lot of photos. So it's real.
Oh, fun.
And and I was just like, I cannot believe this is happening. It took like 20 minutes.
He must have had like other tattoos already, right?
Of course.
That's an accomplishment if it was his first tattoo.
Yeah. Oh, that's a whole new level. That's like I bow down. Yeah. But yeah. She always talks to the dudes who like already have tattoos, and like they're the kind of guys that like they're like Post Malone tattoos. Okay. You know, it's like there was no rhyme or reason. We just have these on ourselves, and you know, and he's a musician, and like it all kind of made sense. Mm-hmm. But it's kind of like you think about it, it's actually like a great idea. Like if you're gonna tattoo any name on you, why not someone of some random girl you just met? Yeah. There's no emotional ties. Because every other time it's a name, it's always like a significant other or getting married or whatever, and it always fucking does not work out. Mm-hmm. And you know, like you get like, you know, Bob, and fucking Bob fucking dumps you, or you cheat on Bob, and then you're just stuck with Bob. Yeah. This time it's like, oh, Tess. What? Who's Tess? I don't know, some random girl. Really? Yeah, really. And that's that.
That's that.
You know? So
what a free life. Right? I wish I was like that a little bit, just a little.
I mean, I don't have any tattoos because I don't like commitment.
It is a commitment. I've been thinking about getting one for the past 8 years, and
you should. I mean, I love tattoos. I love tattoos. I have so many friends with tattoos. I've worked in places where I was the only one without a tattoo. And I appreciate them so much. But yeah, it's permanent. Mm-hmm. And even if I like the artwork,
at least it should be. You know, you shouldn't be able to get rid of one.
Right. I'm like, and let's say I want to get rid of one. Lasering it off costs more and hurts more. Mm-hmm. So fuck that. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm like, if I do a tattoo, it's forever. And I don't know what I'm gonna like enough forever, and also I don't know what's gonna look good in 40 years, 50 years from now when I'm wrinkly and gross. Obviously nothing's gonna look good forever, but like, you know, I don't want to get like, you know, like a phoenix and then it just droops.
It becomes like a very old peacock.
Yeah, like it just becomes like a gross pigeon. Like you know? I get it. So I love tattoos, and I love the people who wear them, and I love the artistry, and I watch way too much Ink Master. Mm-hmm. But, like, I don't know if it's something for me. I don't know, we'll see.
Do you come from, like, a conservative household?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, my name is Genesis, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, so I was
literally Christ's sake.
Catholic?
Yeah. Okay. My mom and dad are very Catholic, and,
how do they feel about you,
doing stand-up?
Stand-up or...
What's hilarious about my family is that, like, they're conservative for everything. Like, they go overboard in everything. Like, I wasn't allowed to do sleepovers. I wasn't allowed to date until maybe last year.
Listen to music?
Music was fine, although they really put up a fight. Like, you know, when I went through my, like, emo punk phase, like, they were just like, why is the devil in you? And I'm like, it's good music! You know?
You don't understand.
You don't understand, it's not a phase! And it was not.
We're concerned that you're talking about suicide.
I know, yeah, exactly. And, but throughout it all, the one thing my parents have been super supportive of and super cool with ever since I was 2 years old was performing.
Nice.
And
whatever form.
I mean, my mom was like my manager, pretty much. She wasn't super like pushy, but like she was pushy. Mm-hmm. But she wasn't like Kris Jenner pushy. Okay. She has like a line, you know. And she always said like, you know, fame isn't gonna be like your quest for fame or success or whatever. Like, that's not gonna top, you know, you being safe and stuff like that. Like my mom is Venezuelan, so she, you know, I know like Spanish, you know, artists and stuff like that. But like, you know, like the story of like Gloria Trevi. Oh my God, Gloria Trevi. I haven't said that name in like 10 years. Sorry, Gloria Trevi. You're relevant, I'm sure. And her backstory was like, she got taken advantage of as a small kid, and because her mom, by her manager at the time, because her mom wanted, you know, fame and stuff. And, you know, you hear all those stories, right? But thankfully, as a kid, my mom was always like, if anything happens, like, you know. And so, yeah, and so, I mean, she was the one who was like, I would dress up as, like, a rumbera and Carmen Miranda, and I'm, like a tiny kid in, like, cute little broad panties and stuff, and I was a Selena impersonator, so I'm wearing Selena's iconic purple outfit and all that stuff, and you know, my mom was just, like, conservative. My mom and dad were conservative, but they were like, you know what, this is performing, and you're good at it, and, So the stand-up...
They never pushed you towards anything, like, else other than, like, something that you were already naturally pursuing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they just knew I was good at it, and I loved it, and even if I was, like, kicking and shouting, I'm like, I don't want to practice, like, my mom would make me, but it was because she knew I was good at it. And so, yeah, and so now with the stand-up, the thing is, like, my parents are just, they're from other countries, so they don't understand. They obviously speak English and speak English well enough, but they've got accents, and they don't really understand American humor, right?
Okay.
So, my mom's been to 3 of my shows. She went to the first one for sure. My dad hasn't been to any, and it's just like, she's like, yeah, you're funny.
Yeah.
Right?
I heard people laughing.
I don't get it. Like, she thinks my brother is funny because he's an idiot, you know? like he's like does dumb shit, and it's funny because it's dumb shit. But like, she's not gonna understand like wordplay or like you know,
double entendre.
Right? Yeah, you know. And she hasn't. And I've been like fairly clean. Like the stuff that she's seen is fairly clean. Like I haven't talked about like fucking or anything, you know. But you know,
imagine the day that does happen though. Just
well, that's like I just introduced that in my stand-up, and she hasn't seen that, so I don't know.
Is she coming to the show?
I don't know.
It's a late night show.
It's a late night show, and it's also like I don't know if I want her to. You know.
You know, you will get a recorded video set of your, which you can like, you know, email to them.
Yes, and what's so funny is like my mom and dad make up like half of my jokes. Like they're just my entire family. They're so fucking weird. And everyone says that about their family. Oh, my family's so crazy. But like my friends will meet my family. They're like, oh, what?
No wonder. This explains a lot.
What? And then they're like, wait, so you're the most normal one? Like, that's what? Like,
yeah.
So you know, it's just so easy to like make jokes, and it feels like I'm not even writing it. I just write what they say verbatim, and it's funny. And I'm like, this seems like cheating. Yeah. And so my dad has like, the jokes about my dad usually get the biggest laughs, and he's never been to a show, but I've shown him jokes about him, and he's just like, I showed him one, and he was like, you know, he saw the joke, and he was just like, I do not understand why funny. Like, it is true. Like, it is not funny. It is true. This happened. I'm like, yeah, that's why it's funny. Dad, it's fine. Thank you for being my muse.
Is your dad from...
He's from Croatia.
Croatia, okay.
Yeah, so I can't really get his accent down.
Are your dad's Russian?
Yeah, I just do a shitty Russian accent, honestly, for my dad. But, like, yeah, he's Eastern European, so it's close enough. And so my dad's from Croatia, my mom's from Venezuela. Wow. And I know I don't want to talk about it too much because it's part of my set. Okay. But that's something that always comes up, and everyone's like, what?
I have no idea when I'm gonna post these. I'm gonna try to post them at least once a week. Yeah. So, well, yeah, like, you know.
I know. I'm like, we've got a lot. Like, you can post whatever. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, yeah, cool, great, fine.
You signed the release.
Damn it. God, I should have had my lawyer read that.
Well, like let's see. Moving forward, like
Yeah.
what do you think you're gonna expect to see at the comedy competition?
I don't know. I mean, I always assume everyone's gonna be funnier than me. And I'm thinking it's just gonna be just like a good time. I'm like, it's this weird thing. I'm like, I don't want to be down on myself, and I don't want to go in expecting to lose. Blah.
Right.
But like, I don't, I just assume like other people are just gonna be funnier, and that's okay. Like, I feel so new, and I feel so green, and it's.
You're going out there for the experience.
Yeah, and I'm going out there because like, I like you. I think the show is a great idea. Like, it'll be fun, and stage time is stage time. So if I bomb, I bomb, and hopefully my friends pity vote for me, and that is that. But like, I mean, I hope I win. I like money.
Yeah. Everybody loves money.
And also just winning and bragging rights. Like dick.
Yeah, if you do win, you become the defending champion for next month, so you'll have to defend your
So that's
title.
also very scary.
Yeah, you'll have to come up
I'm
with
like,
a whole
wait, I
new
have to
8
come up with a whole new thing.
Yeah.
Which is like, you mean like your job as a stand-up comedian?
Yeah, I do it to, like to
It's good.
challenge.
Yes, it's good. Yeah, because I'm like, if you come in with the same 8 minutes each time, because you know what kills, you're like, you're not growing, you're not learning.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you get it. All right, awesome.
I get it, dude.
Yeah, I wish there was something like that for myself, because I'm the host of the show, I can't participate in my own show.
I know, but like, it's such a great idea. Maybe one of these days, like, you can have like, I'll host it, and then you can win, and like, see what happens.
Yeah.
And it's like, guys, he said at the show, but like.
You know what? I don't think I included you in the part of the last, the last email that I sent out. I'm gonna be changing up the format for August.
Oh shoot!
Yeah.
Okay, no, I didn't.
Yeah, I'll remember to send.
Guys, you didn't send me the email. This is like very interesting.
Yeah.
I just want to acknowledge that we're like, send me the email.
Yeah, I will send her the email.
Thank you so much.
If you guys want to sign up for the emailing list,
do it. Do it. Emails are an integral part of marketing.
Yeah.
I don't
Get
know.
your information out.
I used to do marketing. So
all right. Well, Genesis, thank you very much for being on my podcast.
Thank you for
this is very
having me.
entertaining.
Wait, can I just say this is my first official proper podcast?
Oh yeah, I'm
and
honored.
I've been dying to be on one for 13 years.
Was it everything you ever hoped
That
for?
was everything. I didn't even have to leave my room, which is what I wanted.
Yeah, people come to me.
People come to me.
I set up with the light. You guys can see it from the television.
Look at this fancy fucking ring light. Look at this. I look good because ring lights.
You can tell she's a. She's.
I know. I like clothes because obviously I must like clothes because I'm a mannequin.
We get a little insight into your life.
My little world, my little setup here. But thank you so much. This was so fun, and I hope I didn't bore you to tears.
No. And I wish you all the luck for the competition.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I can't wait for it.
All right. Well, thanks.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
All right. Cool. That was it.
Nice. That was so fun.
Do.
I'm so excited. So do you have an idea when you might release it, or?
I just released the first episode on. I've been using this app called Anchor.
Okay.
Have you heard of it?
No, but.
So there's this new app called Anchor where you just basically upload your podcast to that thing, and then let me just show you.
Yeah, let me see it. Where's my phone? I have no idea where my phone is.
Okay, well, now we can turn on the air.
Boom. Oh yeah, it's so hot. Jesus. Oh.
I'm so demanding, huh?
No, God, no. Oh God, this guy wants air. Oh, this is still recording. Do you want me to stop?
Please. Yes.